Imagine standing at the edge of a roaring river, its waters churning with chaos and noise. Now imagine choosing not to shout over it, to instead step back, observe its currents, and listen to the quiet voice within you that whispers, focus on yourself. In a world obsessed with constant noise, this simple act of silence and introspection has become nothing short of revolutionary. Focusing on your own growth and development is not just a self-help mantra, it's a fundamental principle for navigating the complexities of life. When you direct your attention inward, you begin to understand that true progress doesn't come from external validation or fleeting achievements, but from consistent, deliberate effort toward becoming the best version of yourself. This process requires discipline, patience, and an unwavering commitment to self-awareness. Life is inherently chaotic, filled with distractions, obligations, and pressures that can pull you in countless directions. Without a strong sense of inner focus, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters: your values, your purpose, and your long-term goals. By prioritizing your personal growth, you create a foundation of resilience and clarity that allows you to weather challenges without being derailed by them. Inner focus begins with understanding who you are at your core. It involves asking difficult questions. What do I value most? What kind of person do I want to become? What legacy do I wish to leave behind? These questions may seem abstract, but they are essential for grounding yourself in a sense of meaning. When you have clear answers to these questions, you're less likely to be swayed by external influences or societal expectations. For example, consider how many people chase success as defined by others, money, status, fame, only to find themselves unfulfilled despite achieving those milestones. Why does this happen? Because their pursuits were never aligned with their authentic selves. Focusing on your own growth means rejecting superficial measures of success and instead striving for alignment between your actions and your deepest values. Another critical aspect of inner focus is the ability to embrace discomfort. Growth rarely occurs in comfort zones. It happens when you push beyond what feels safe and familiar. Whether it's learning a new skill, confronting a fear, or breaking a bad habit, every step forward requires effort and perseverance. This is where inner focus becomes indispensable. When you concentrate on your own journey, you develop the mental fortitude to endure setbacks and failures. You learn to view obstacles not as roadblocks but as opportunities for improvement. Over time, this mindset transforms adversity into fuel for progress, enabling you to build the resilience needed to thrive in an unpredictable world. Focusing on your own growth fosters a sense of agency and empowerment. Too often, people fall into the trap of blaming external circumstances for their unhappiness or lack of progress. They point fingers at their environment, their upbringing, or other people, believing that change is impossible unless those factors shift. But the truth is, while you can't control everything around you, you always have control over how you respond. Inner focus shifts your perspective from victimhood to ownership. It reminds you that your choices, attitudes, and efforts determine the trajectory of your life. By taking responsibility for your growth, you reclaim your power and open the door to endless possibilities. Focusing on yourself creates a ripple effect that benefits those around you. Personal growth isn't a selfish endeavor, it's a gift to the world. When you invest in your well-being, knowledge, and character, you naturally become a source of inspiration and support for others. Your relationships improve because you bring more patience, empathy, and wisdom to your interactions. Your contributions to society deepen because you approach challenges with creativity and determination. In essence, focusing on your own growth isn't about isolating yourself from the world. It's about preparing yourself to engage with it in a meaningful way. The stronger and more grounded you become, the greater your capacity to make a positive impact. Staying silent in situations where words would only escalate conflict or harm is a form of wisdom that requires both emotional intelligence and restraint. Human beings are wired to respond quickly to perceived threats, whether physical or emotional. This instinct served our ancestors well in survival scenarios, but in modern life it often leads to unnecessary drama and damaged relationships. Learning to recognize when silence is the better option can save you from countless headaches, misunderstandings, and even irreparable rifts. Silence in such moments isn't cowardice, it's a strategic decision to prioritize peace, understanding, and long-term harmony over short-term satisfaction. Consider the dynamics of a heated argument. Emotions run high, logic takes a back seat, and egos clash. In these situations, speaking impulsively can easily exacerbate tensions, turning minor disagreements into full-blown conflicts. Words spoken in anger or frustration tend to linger, sometimes haunting relationships for years. On the other hand, choosing to stay silent gives everyone involved time to cool down and reflect. It prevents rash statements that might later be regretted and allows space for rational thought to prevail. Silence acts as a buffer, diffusing tension and creating room for resolution once emotions have settled. This principle applies not only to personal relationships, but also to professional settings. Workplace environments are rife with potential for conflict, whether due to differing opinions, competition, or miscommunication. Reacting defensively or aggressively in such contexts can damage reputations, hinder collaboration, and create toxic atmospheres. Conversely, practicing silence in moments of tension demonstrates maturity and leadership. It shows that you value problem solving over winning arguments and that you're willing to rise above petty disputes for the sake of collective progress. Leaders who master this skill inspire trust and respect, fostering healthier team dynamics. Silence also plays a crucial role in avoiding unnecessary conflict online, where digital communication amplifies the risk of misunderstandings. Social media platforms, comment sections, and messaging apps provide fertile ground for impulsive reactions and inflammatory exchanges. Once something is said or typed, it cannot be unsaid, and the permanence of digital footprints means that careless words can haunt you indefinitely. Staying silent in response to provocations or negativity online protects your reputation and preserves your mental energy. It prevents you from getting drawn into fruitless debates that serve no purpose other than to feed trolls or stoke division. Beyond interpersonal and digital contexts, silence can be a powerful tool in navigating societal issues. In times of widespread outrage or controversy, there's immense pressure to take sides, voice opinions, or join movements. While activism and advocacy are important, not every issue requires your immediate input. Speaking out without adequate knowledge or reflection can spread misinformation, polarize communities, and contribute to the very problems you aim to address. By staying silent until you've thoroughly considered the facts and implications, you ensure that your contributions are thoughtful and constructive rather than reactive or harmful. Silence in the face of conflict teaches humility. It acknowledges that you don't always have all the answers and that listening is often more valuable than talking. Many conflicts arise from misunderstandings or assumptions which could be resolved through active listening and empathy. By staying silent, you give others the opportunity to express themselves fully, fostering mutual understanding and reducing the likelihood of escalation. This approach not only strengthens relationships but also cultivates a culture of respect and cooperation. Avoiding unnecessary conflict through silence is about discernment. It's about knowing when to speak up and when to hold back, when to assert yourself and when to yield. This balance doesn't come naturally to everyone. It requires practice, self-awareness, and a willingness to let go of ego-driven impulses, but the rewards are profound. By mastering the art of silence, you protect your peace of mind, nurture your relationships, and position yourself as a calm and composed individual capable of navigating life's inevitable storms with grace. The pursuit of external validation is one of the most pervasive traps in modern society. From social media likes to workplace accolades, we're constantly bombarded with metrics that measure our worth based on external standards. Yet, chasing approval from others is a recipe for dissatisfaction and anxiety. True fulfillment comes not from pleasing everyone around you, but from cultivating self-mastery, the ability to define your own success and live according to your internal compass. Prioritizing self-mastery over external validation shifts the locus of control from outside forces to within yourself, empowering you to lead a life of authenticity and purpose. External validation operates on a transactional model: perform a certain action, receive praise or reward. While this system works temporarily, it ultimately leaves you dependent on others for your sense of self-worth. Imagine basing your happiness on the number of likes a post receives or the frequency of compliments from colleagues. These sources of validation are fickle and unreliable. One day you might feel elated by a surge of positive feedback, the next crushed by its absence. This roller coaster of emotions stems from relying on variables you cannot control. Self-mastery, on the other hand, frees you from this dependency by teaching you to derive satisfaction from intrinsic sources: your values, your progress, and your integrity. Achieving self-mastery begins with self-awareness. You must first identify the areas of your life where you seek external validation and examine why you crave it. Is it insecurity, fear of rejection, a desire to fit in? Understanding the root causes of this behavior enables you to address them directly. For instance, if you find yourself obsessing over social media metrics, ask yourself what deeper need those numbers fulfill. Are you seeking connection, recognition, or affirmation? Once you pinpoint the underlying motivation, you can work toward meeting that need in healthier ways, such as building genuine relationships or pursuing meaningful accomplishments. Self-mastery also involves setting boundaries. In a world obsessed with constant connectivity, it's easy to fall prey to the pressure of always being on, available, responsive, and agreeable. Saying yes to every request or conforming to societal norms may earn you temporary approval, but it erodes your autonomy and drains your energy. Setting boundaries means saying no when necessary, standing firm in your convictions, and prioritizing your well-being over the expectations of others. This act of self-preservation reinforces your identity and reminds you that your value isn't contingent on pleasing everyone. Another cornerstone of self-mastery is embracing imperfection. Perfectionism often stems from a desire for external validation, as individuals strive to meet impossibly high standards set by society or themselves. However, perfection is an illusion, and chasing it only leads to burnout and disappointment. Instead, focus on progress rather than perfection. Celebrate small victories, learn from mistakes, and recognize that growth is a non-linear process. By adopting this mindset, you cultivate resilience and reduce the need for constant reassurance from others. Self-mastery empowers you to redefine success on your terms. Society tends to equate achievement with wealth, fame, or status, but these markers are arbitrary and subjective. What constitutes success for one person may hold little significance for another. By defining your own criteria for success, whether it's personal growth, family happiness, or creative expression, you align your efforts with what truly matters to you. This alignment eliminates the noise of external judgment and allows you to pursue goals that resonate deeply with your soul. Self-mastery fosters a sense of inner peace. When you stop seeking validation from others, you free yourself from the burden of comparison. You no longer measure your worth against someone else's highlight reel or feel diminished by their achievements. Instead, you focus on your unique journey, celebrating your strengths and working on your weaknesses. This perspective cultivates gratitude, contentment, and a profound sense of liberation. You realize that your value isn't determined by external applause, but by the quiet confidence that comes from living authentically. Silence is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness or passivity, but in reality it is one of the most potent forms of strength. In a world that glorifies constant activity and vocal assertion, silence stands out as a rare and deliberate choice. It is not merely the absence of noise, it is a conscious decision to withhold speech, to observe, and to reflect. This act of restraint requires immense courage and self-control, qualities that distinguish silence as a formidable force. Far from being passive, silence is an active tool, one that can shape outcomes, influence perceptions, and preserve your energy for endeavors that truly matter. At its core, silence is a form of discipline. It demands that you resist the urge to react impulsively, especially in emotionally charged situations. When faced with criticism, provocation, or injustice, the natural inclination is to defend yourself immediately. However, responding too quickly can lead to regrettable words or actions that escalate tensions rather than resolve them. Silence, in contrast, provides a buffer, a moment of pause during which you can gather your thoughts and choose your response wisely. This ability to delay gratification, to wait before acting, is a hallmark of emotional intelligence and a key component of strength. Silence also serves as a shield, protecting you from unnecessary conflicts and distractions. In social settings, for example, engaging in every conversation or debate can deplete your mental and emotional resources. Some discussions are simply not worth your time or energy, particularly when they revolve around trivial matters or aimless gossip. By staying silent, you conserve your strength for interactions that hold genuine significance. This selective engagement demonstrates discernment, a quality that commands respect and signals maturity. People notice when someone chooses their battles carefully, and they often interpret silence as a sign of confidence rather than timidity. Silence enhances your ability to listen, an underrated yet invaluable skill. Active listening requires patience and presence, qualities that are cultivated through the practice of silence. When you refrain from interrupting or interjecting, you give others the space to express themselves fully. This fosters deeper connections and mutual understanding as people feel heard and valued. In professional settings, leaders who listen more than they speak are often seen as wise and empathetic. Their silence conveys openness and curiosity, inviting collaboration and innovation. By prioritizing listening over speaking, you position yourself as someone who values substance over spectacle. Silence also amplifies the impact of your words when you do choose to speak. Think about how much weight a carefully chosen phrase carries after a period of quiet contemplation. Contrast this with the diminishing returns of constant chatter where words lose their significance due to overuse. Strategic silence allows you to craft your message with precision, ensuring that your words resonate deeply and achieve their intended effect. This principle applies across various domains, from public speaking to negotiations. A well-timed pause can captivate an audience, emphasize a point, or create anticipation. In negotiations, silence can unsettle opponents, prompting them to reveal information or make concessions. Thus, silence becomes a tactical advantage, enabling you to navigate complex situations with finesse. On a personal level, silence fosters introspection and self-discovery. In the absence of external noise, you gain access to your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, and aspirations. This solitude is essential for processing experiences, identifying patterns, and making informed decisions. Without regular periods of silence, it's easy to become disconnected from your true self, swept away by the demands and distractions of daily life. By carving out time for quiet reflection, you maintain a strong sense of identity and purpose. This inner clarity strengthens your resolve and equips you to face challenges with composure. Silence embodies a form of resistance against societal pressures. In a culture that equates visibility with success, choosing to remain silent can be a radical act. It challenges the notion that you must constantly prove your worth or justify your existence. Silence declares that you are enough as you are, regardless of external validation. It affirms your right to occupy space without explanation or apology. This quiet defiance inspires others to embrace their own silence, creating a ripple effect that promotes authenticity and empowerment. In a fast-paced, hyper-connected world, guarding your energy is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. Every interaction, every task, and every decision consumes a portion of your mental, emotional, and physical resources. If you fail to manage these expenditures wisely, you risk burnout, stress, and diminished effectiveness. By focusing inward and staying silent when appropriate, you create a protective barrier around your energy reserves, ensuring that they are allocated to activities and relationships that truly enrich your life. This practice of conservation is vital for maintaining balance, sustaining productivity, and nurturing your overall well-being. Energy is finite, yet many people treat it as though it's limitless. They say yes to every invitation, take on extra responsibilities, and engage in endless conversations only to find themselves depleted and overwhelmed. The key to avoiding this trap lies in recognizing the importance of boundaries. Boundaries are not barriers, they are guidelines that help you determine what deserves your attention and what does not. For example, declining a social event when you're feeling drained allows you to recharge, while participating in meaningless small talk can sap your vitality. By staying silent in situations that don't align with your priorities, you safeguard your energy for pursuits that genuinely matter. One of the most significant drains on energy is negativity, both internal and external. Negative thoughts such as self-doubt, worry, or resentment consume vast amounts of mental bandwidth. Similarly, toxic relationships or environments can leave you feeling exhausted and demoralized. Staying silent in the face of negativity is a form of self-protection. It prevents you from getting entangled in pointless arguments, gossip, or drama that serve no constructive purpose. Instead of reacting to negativity, you can choose to disengage, redirecting your focus to positivity and solutions. This shift not only conserves your energy, but also elevates your mood and outlook. Another critical aspect of guarding your energy is learning to differentiate between urgent and important tasks. Urgent tasks demand immediate attention, often creating a false sense of urgency that distracts you from long-term goals. Important tasks, on the other hand, contribute to your growth and fulfillment, but may not have pressing deadlines. By staying silent on non-essential matters, you free up time and energy to focus on what truly moves the needle. This prioritization ensures that your efforts are aligned with your values and aspirations, rather than being scattered across trivialities. Technology plays a dual role in energy management. On one hand, it offers tools and resources that enhance efficiency and connectivity. On the other hand, it can be a major source of distraction and stress. Notifications, emails, and social media updates bombard you with information, fragmenting your focus and draining your cognitive resources. Practicing digital silence, turning off notifications, setting aside device-free periods, or taking breaks from social media helps you regain control over your attention. This intentional disconnection allows you to immerse yourself in deep work, creative thinking, or simple relaxation, all of which replenish your energy stores. Physical health is another pillar of energy conservation. Sleep, nutrition, and exercise are foundational to maintaining optimal energy levels. Chronic sleep deprivation, Poor dietary choices and sedentary lifestyles undermine your ability to function effectively. Staying silent in this context means tuning out societal messages that glorify busyness and sacrifice at the expense of self-care. It means honoring your body's needs and making restorative practices a priority. When you nourish your body properly, you equip yourself with the stamina and resilience needed to tackle life's challenges. Emotional energy deserves equal consideration. Relationships, whether personal or professional, require investment, but not all relationships are equally rewarding. Surrounding yourself with supportive, uplifting individuals energizes you, while toxic or draining connections deplete you. Staying silent in unhealthy dynamics, whether by setting boundaries, limiting interactions, or walking away entirely, protects your emotional well-being. It also creates space for meaningful connections that foster growth, joy, and mutual support. Guarding your energy is an ongoing process that requires mindfulness and intentionality. It involves regularly assessing your habits, routines, and commitments to ensure they align with your goals and values. It means saying no without guilt, embracing solitude without fear, and trusting your instincts about what serves you best. By prioritizing your energy, you empower yourself to live with greater purpose, clarity, and vitality. When you focus on improving yourself and remain disciplined enough to avoid distractions, you unlock the potential to build something truly meaningful. This concept transcends material success or superficial achievements. It speaks to the creation of lasting impact, whether in your personal life, your community, or the broader world. Meaningful contributions stem from a foundation of self-awareness, consistency, and dedication. They require you to channel your energy into endeavors that reflect your values, challenge your abilities, and leave a positive legacy. By committing to this path, you transform your existence from mere survival to purposeful thriving. The first step in building something meaningful is identifying what resonates deeply with you. Passion alone isn't sufficient. It must be coupled with a clear vision of the change you wish to create. Ask yourself, what problems am I uniquely equipped to solve? What gifts or talents do I possess that can benefit others? These questions guide you toward pursuits that align with your authentic self, ensuring that your efforts are driven by intrinsic motivation rather than external pressures. For instance, someone passionate about education might dedicate their life to mentoring underprivileged youth, while another person drawn to environmental sustainability could focus on developing eco-friendly technologies. Each contribution, no matter how niche, has the power to ripple outward and touch countless lives. Discipline is the engine that propels meaningful projects forward. Inspiration may spark the initial idea, but sustained effort brings it to fruition. Discipline entails showing up consistently, even when enthusiasm wanes or obstacles arise. It means adhering to routines, meeting deadlines, and pushing through discomfort. Consider artists, writers, or entrepreneurs. They often spend years honing their craft before seeing tangible results. Their discipline ensures that they continue progressing regardless of setbacks. Similarly, when you commit to self-improvement, you lay the groundwork for future achievements. Each small victory compounds over time, culminating in something extraordinary. Avoiding distractions is equally crucial in this process. Modern life is rife with temptations designed to steal your focus. Social media, entertainment, instant gratification. While these diversions offer temporary pleasure, they rarely contribute to long-term fulfillment. To build something meaningful, you must cultivate the ability to tune them out. This doesn't mean eliminating leisure entirely, rather it involves striking a balance between enjoyment and productivity. Set aside designated times for relaxation, but remain vigilant about protecting your creative and productive hours. By doing so, you maximize your output and accelerate your progress. Collaboration also plays a pivotal role in building meaningful projects. No great achievement occurs in isolation. Even the most independent creators rely on networks of support. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals amplifies your impact. Seek mentors who can provide guidance, peers who challenge and inspire you, and collaborators whose skills complement your own. Together, you form a collective force capable of tackling larger-scale initiatives. Collaboration fosters innovation, expands your reach, and reinforces the idea that meaningful contributions are rarely solitary endeavors. Building something meaningful requires adaptability. The journey will inevitably involve unexpected twists and turns, failures, rejections, and pivots. Resilience enables you to navigate these challenges without losing sight of your ultimate goal. View failures not as endpoints but as lessons that refine your approach. Adaptability ensures that you remain flexible enough to seize new opportunities while staying anchored to your core mission. This balance between persistence and openness is essential for sustained success. Meaningful contributions also extend beyond individual accomplishments. They encompass the ways in which you uplift and empower others, whether through mentorship, philanthropy, or advocacy. Sharing your knowledge and resources amplifies your impact exponentially. When you invest in others' growth, you create a cycle of generosity and inspiration that perpetuates itself. Your legacy becomes intertwined with the lives you've touched, ensuring that your influence endures long after you're gone. Ultimately, building something meaningful is about leaving the world better than you found it. It's about using your unique gifts to address real needs, inspire change, and foster connection. When you focus on yourself, stay disciplined, and avoid distractions, you position yourself to make a difference not just for yourself but for generations to come. Ladies and gentlemen, life is too precious to waste on distractions, unnecessary conflicts, or the endless pursuit of external validation. When we focus on ourselves, when we commit to our growth, guard our energy, and embrace the power of silence, we unlock something extraordinary, the ability to build lives of purpose, resilience, and meaning. Silence isn't emptiness, it's a canvas where we paint our deepest aspirations. Self-focus isn't selfishness, it's the foundation upon which we create value for others. And avoiding conflict isn't weakness, it's wisdom. So today, I urge you to turn inward, to speak less and listen more, to conserve your energy for what truly matters, and to dedicate yourself to building something meaningful not just for yourself but for the world around you. Because in the end, the most profound revolutions begin not with a roar but with a whisper.